For over 5 decades, one name has remained synonymous with mystery and terror in American history: the Zodiac. Between 1968 and 1969, this unidentified predator haunted the streets of Northern California, claiming at least 5 confirmed victims and leaving 2 others forever scarred. But more than the crimes themselves, it was the psychological game he played with the police and the media that turned him into a global legend. The investigation initially focused heavily on a man named Arthur Lee Allen. Detectives had compelling reasons to suspect him. Allen owned a Zodiac brand wristwatch, the very brand that shared the killer's infamous cross-circle symbol. His shoe size matched footprints found at one of the crime scenes, and he owned a typewriter similar to the one used in some of the Zodiac's letters. However, despite being the prime suspect for years, forensic science couldn't close the gap when his first major cipher, Z408, sent in 1969, was decoded. He had clearly written, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is even better than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all. The best part is that when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all I have killed will become my slaves." In recent years, the mystery took a new turn. In 2021, a group of independent investigators known as the Casebreakers identified a new candidate, Gary Francis Post. They pointed to forensic evidence, including physical scars on Post's forehead that mirrored the police sketches of the Zodiac from the 1960s. They also claimed his name was the key to decoding the killer's complex ciphers. However, it is crucial to note that there is currently no official forensic proof or law enforcement confirmation that Gary Francis Post was the Zodiac. To this day, the FBI and local police departments maintain that the case remains open and unsolved. One of the most baffling aspects of the case is the sudden silence. After a string of confirmed attacks and taunting letters, the Zodiac's confirmed murders stopped abruptly after 1970. Although he continued to send letters until 1974, claiming his victim count had reached 37, none of those later claims were ever verified. According to this team's claims, the letters of the name Gary Francis Post were hidden within the complex puzzles or ciphers sent by the Zodiac Killer. They believe that without using the letters of his name, it is impossible to decode the full meaning of certain ciphers. In 1966, a young woman named Sherry Jo Bates was murdered in Riverside, California. Many investigators consider her to be one of the Zodiac's earliest victims. Records show that Gary Francis Post used to visit that specific area in Riverside for medical checkups, and the timing of those visits aligns with the date of the murder. Gary was a former Air Force veteran. He possessed painting skills and experience with chemicals, which matches the ability to create the strange symbols and codes used by the Zodiac. Additionally, some people close to him claimed that Gary was quite aggressive in his personal life. However, it is important to remember that the FBI and California police have not yet officially accepted these claims. According to them, this evidence is primarily circumstantial, and there is a lack of conclusive DNA proof. Since Gary Francis Post passed away in 2018, direct interrogation is no longer possible.